Hello. I have some peppermint tea. It's literally one of my favorite teas. I love anything peppermint or mint. Actually, I don't know if you've ever tried this, but iced peppermint tea is so refreshing on a summer day. Like, you should try. Okay, so I want to talk about I couldn't figure out what to call this guy because there were like two things that I think about when I remember him. One is that he had this amazing smile. Like, you just look at his profile picture and you just like can't help but smile because of his smile. Also, he was a really incredible cook. Actually, I would even go so far as to say he was a chef. He was self-taught. He didn't go to training or anything, but he did have like a YouTube video or something like that where he would do recipes. He had the whole like setup and everything. Discord maybe? I don't know. Something. He was always filming. There was a couple times when I was over for dinner and he was like finishing up a video or something. He spent a lot of time on the meals and they were always delicious. And I cooked for him a few times, but I'm like faster in the kitchen. Like, I make really good food, but it's more I have a lot of kids and I work full time, so I cannot spend 2-3 hours making a meal. It's just not possible. But he took it very seriously, and that was his craft. He also was an avid wine collector, so that was very fun to like taste new things and pair the wines together. And I saw his wine collection one time, and it was great. He was a nice guy overall. I really tried because I had been with so many actual jerks that this actual good guy was in front of me, and I tried. And it's not the cliche of like I just didn't find him attractive or whatever. I did. I found him attractive. I don't know that everybody would find him attractive, but I was attracted to his personality, and like all the things was enough for me to be attracted to him. He's very kind. He had good friends. He came from a good family. What scared me away was two things. Couple months into dating, he said that he wanted me to meet his parents or his sister or something. I can't remember who. And it was going to be Easter Sunday. And he said, "Do you feel comfortable meeting so-and-so on Easter Sunday?" I didn't have my kids that weekend, so I was looking for Easter plans. And I said, shh. We had the conversation about where things were going. He was very intentional. He was looking for a wife. He wanted a family. And so I was like, okay, I'm happy to meet them as long as you don't think this is us like actually fully committed to marriage yet, right? Like, we're still investigating. I get that it's Easter Sunday. It's an easy time to meet somebody, and I can understand a casual like introduction of somebody that you're dating with your family a little bit earlier than would be normal, just so you can see if vibes match, or if you're like concerned about somebody not, liking something or whatever. I could see a scenario where that could be acceptable. So I said yes to what he was asking. I showed up. The entire family was there. The entire family was there. The brothers, the sisters, the spouses, the nieces, the nephews, the whole family was there, and I felt ambushed. Okay. So, I have a pretty good poker face. I put on a good show. I mean, I was there to meet his parents, and I didn't want anybody to feel uncomfortable on their family holiday. Here's the thing though. We were there for like 3 hours and I was completely ignored. So I didn't really know what to take from that. Aside from, does he always bring girls to these things, hoping to like make that connection a little faster? Or did they not know I was coming? I mean, they didn't know anything about me, so they couldn't have not liked me in the like, whatever. But he also ignored me. So he brought me into that situation and then just kind of left me to fend for myself. And they seemed like a nice enough family, but I think it goes back to, and I've talked about it before, is the compatibility. If I were to invite somebody, I would first off tell them what's happening and where everybody's going to be and who's going to be there. And I would prepare them for what they're walking into. I also wouldn't just go off and do my own thing and completely ignore their existence. So that kind of turned me off. It didn't quite give me the ick, but it gave me a heavy pause. And then my birthday was later on that week. And he had been making a big deal about what he was going to do for my birthday. He was so excited that we were dating around my birthday, and he wanted to do something really special. And he kept making these comments of like, oh, you just wait and see what I'm going to give you. And one time when we were on our way to dinner, I don't know, maybe he was making me dinner at his house that night. I can't remember. We're making dinner or going to dinner or something, and there was a gift bag there, and he's like, oh, just wait, that's going to be one of your presents. I'm getting ready for your birthday. And my big birthday wish was to go to the tulip fields near where I live. I had been before, but I had never been without children, and so I couldn't really fully like appreciate them. He also was kind of into photography, and so I thought it'd be cool if we took some pictures at the tulip fields. You know, it's kind of cheesy, but they're always good pictures. And he was like, oh, yes, let's do that. I'll take you out to lunch when we're over there, and we'll do the tulip fields. It'll be great. And then, you know, you can go home and do dinner with your kids, because that's when they were going to be coming back from their dads. And I was so excited. Like, I was so excited to finally have somebody in my life that was excited about my birthday. My parents were always excited. My kids were always excited. But when I was married, my ex would always ruin my birthday. Like, there was always, like, to the point where I would say, I'm happy with any kind of food except fettuccine Alfredo. Anything is fine except fettuccine. And then he'd have only fettuccine. Like, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Like, literally, I was excited to have somebody happy about my birthday, even to a small degree. And this guy was making it a huge deal. Well, I meet him at his house because we're going to drive together. And he doesn't have a gift. He doesn't say happy birthday. Like, nothing. There's nothing special happening. This is just another day. We drive up there. There's a little bit of traffic. He sees the traffic ahead of, like, where everybody's trying to go to the tulip fields. And he says, that's kind of a long wait. Maybe we'll just find a little, like, field nearby. Because there's, like, sub-fields where people will charge, like, just a few dollars instead of the $20 to get in. And, but we'll just take some quick pictures and then we'll just go back home. So there was no meal. There was no actual tulip fields. The pictures turned out okay, but they weren't what we had talked about. And I was thinking, well, maybe he's going to give me the present at the end of the day. He didn't. There was nothing. That time coincided with like my older daughter having some major health issues. So honestly, finding like 4 hours of an evening or an afternoon to spend with him and get to know him was very difficult in my life at that time. I did see the value in it if it was going to go somewhere, but those two situations coupled together at about the almost 3-month mark, because in my opinion, that's where things start to fall apart. It's either 3 weeks or 3 months, because they can't keep their mask on that long on both sides, women and men. They do the same thing. And it was coming up on the 3-month mark, and I was like, oh, great, here it comes. This is like the real him. He's not considerate. He doesn't follow through. He's going to make these grandiose plans, get me all excited, and then it's just going to fall flat. And I think I probably would have limped along a little bit longer than I did, because he was a good man. Like, there were a lot of good qualities about him. But my daughter's health issues had me so busy in life that I had to make a choice. And I could spend 4 hours with him that were becoming mediocre and frustrating, or, you know, I could focus on my kids and what they needed from me. And so ultimately I decided to end the relationship. He was blindsided. He thought everything was great. I explained it all to him. He didn't understand it. He did reach out to me on a dating app, like, you know, just kind of like checking in, not trying to date her or anything again, but just like, hey, how you doing? I hope everything's good. And I don't have any ill will towards him. I don't think that he had any negative plans or intentions there. I just think we weren't compatible. Following through and, you know, doing what you say is very important for me. Some people are a lot more fluid, and I'm just not. So ultimately it ended because we weren't compatible and we weren't looking for the same things in our day-to-day life, and that's okay.